Have you ever wondered what kind of woman could get a dating coach to happily settle down? Today, I'm going to share that with you in our 2-hour interview with a man who became a dating coach after his friend recommended he write an ebook after seeing him do some stuff with women that I can't mention because I think his girlfriend might get angry. Now he runs MajorLeagueDating.com, where he has dozens of articles and 7 ebooks that have helped thousands of men all over the world fix their problems with women and dating. He described our interview as drinking from a fire hydrant for most guys, and said that we touch on some high-level concepts that a lot of dating coaches and PUAs don't, because they either don't get it or aren't thinking on that level. His name is Marc Summers, and today we cover all kinds of useful info on how you can date quality women and find your dream woman. So, let's spend some
quality time.
The records.
Oh, you all mine.
Boogaloo.
By the way, I'm Brian from DateQualityWomen.com, where I help relationship-minded men date quality women so they can find their dream woman. And at any point, if you like this interview, give it a thumbs up. If you are new here, smash the subscribe button and hit that bell so you can get notified of new videos that come out every week to help you date quality women so you can find your dream woman. Let's get to it. Welcome to the first ever episode of Quality Time, where we have real talk with experts about what it takes to date the kind of women that single guys have always wanted to date, but have probably struggled with, so that they can find their dream women. Today, I'm joined by a friend that one of the first guys I ever talked to when it came to quality women, the first expert I ever really talked to, Marc Summers. He's the founder of Major League Dating, and he's authored 7 ebooks and dozens of articles on how men can fix their problems with women in dating. He's been featured on prominent men's magazines and has best-selling ebooks like Bad Boy vs. Nice Guy, 99 Bad Boy Traits, and How to Quit Being a Loser with Women, which have helped thousands of men fix their problems with women in dating. And his personal coaching has some of the best reviews I've ever seen. Wildly good testimonials there, Marc. So I'm really excited to talk with you today. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. You're dope. So I reached out to you when I was first doing research for my website because I made a Reddit post and it got picked up by a major women's magazine. It was about quality women, and they're saying like, oh, this is what guys think are quality women, and they shouldn't talk about that. And they took it and twisted all these really nice points that guys had about what they thought were quality women into sort of like butthurt victim mentality, like, oh, she should be fit and have a personality. It's like, that's not really ridiculous. That sounds like a really nice partner to have. And they made it something really not cool and really lame and not quality woman-like. They took it in a really not very quality way. So I reached out to you and asked you about it. We had a combo about it. And you agreed that dating quality women was different from, you know, your average sort of woman, that you got to be more on point. You got to be more prepared to create a good relationship with her, among some other things. So today I want to get your viewpoint on that and what you think about that. How do you feel about that? Cool, man. Cool. All right. So I'd like to get some personal stories. I just find that a lot more interesting than just standard advice. So can you please tell me, in your memory, in your mind, who was the best woman that you ever dated?
Well, she's asleep in the room behind me. It's my current girlfriend. So it's the more I evolve, the more I learn, the better I do. So it's her, and I'm not just saying that because she can hear me.
Well, it's good you said that, because if you didn't say that, you might be in trouble. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's her 100% for sure, and I've dated a lot. So yeah,
I'm happy to hear that, man. That sounds great. Sounds like you're very lucky for that. What is it about her that makes her so amazing to you?
She's just really a no bullshit type person. She's amazingly hot body. She's just insanely hot. And she just has this attitude like if you approach me saying or doing stupid shit, you're not even worth my time. Don't speak to me. Don't even look at me. She has that kind of attitude. And it's not stuck up. It's just that she knows exactly what she wants. She's a very focused person. And she's not going to waste her time on any person, any guy, any girl, anybody. She's not going to waste her time on any person who seems like a waste of her time. So she doesn't like being around a lot of people as it is right now. But when it comes to guys, she's even more picky. So, I mean, even she plays poker with me. So even if we're playing poker and a guy says something stupid, she'll either shoot something back really, really sarcastic and make him feel real stupid, or she'll just be like, don't speak to me. Because she's just a very, very sharp individual. And that's because she has a lot of experience in life with a lot of different things, serious and education wise. She's just been there and done that. So she knows where she's headed and she's in a hurry to get there. She's not gonna stop and waste her time for anyone. So that's what makes her so high quality. And of course she has very high standards and she knows what she wants and how she wants it and so on and so forth. And she's not going to settle for anything less. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Sounds like she's really smart, got a good sense of humor, whip smart, ambitious.
Absolutely.
Those are all awesome qualities that someone
Yeah.
wants in a partner. Absolutely. Men and women.
Yeah.
Cool. That's great. So how did you guys meet? Do you mind if I ask?
I was dating her best friend and her best friend, I was dating her best friend and her best friend is, nothing like her. She has a lot of improvements to make personality wise and just life wise. She needs to get her head in the game and stay focused and, just quit being dumb. So I met her best friend, and on my girlfriend's birthday, her best friend was like, you got to meet my best friend. So she brought her over, and we met, and it was whatever, and really wasn't interested because I was dating her friend. So the girl I was dating at the time, her best friend, was kind of still in a relationship, and she was still on and off with this guy. So she was just bouncing back and forth. So, I told her best friend happened to live in the same apartments as me at the time. So, I wasn't doing anything. So I was like, hey, come over and hang out, drink some beers with me and watch TV. So we ended up just hanging out all the time, and her best friend kind of just faded out of the picture. And me and my current girlfriend just got more serious, and we eventually told her best friend, and instead of being mad, she was like overly happy. Like, I'm so happy y'all found each other type deal. It was weird. So that's how we met.
Cool. Well, it sounds like there's a little bit of serendipity there. If you guys hadn't lived in the same apartment building, do you think it would have turned out the same way?
No.
Hmm.
No, because I wouldn't have put in the time or effort to spend time with her, because I would have had to go pick her up and all that stuff, and I wasn't going to waste my time on that. I was busy working, getting things done. So at the time, I was like, you come over and hang out with me. If you don't want to, I got things to do. So she would come over and hang out.
Well, that's fair. And that's kind of cool how it is with like any woman. It's like, I'm doing this thing. It's going to be cool and fun. You come if you want. If not, whatever, I'm doing my thing. And you're kind of,
And that's the attitude that's the type of attitude that attracts high quality women. If we're on the subject, is you just have to be like, I don't care. Hey, I'm going to be doing this. You want to come hang out? Cool. If you don't, whatever. I don't care. I got things to do.
Absolutely. I
So
agree.
that's basically how it was. She'd come over, we'd watch TV, drink, whatever. She'd go home. I'd get back to work.
I agree. That's one of the tenets I actually teach, is to just have an awesome life that you can invite women into. So if you meet a woman who has an awesome life and hers is better by joining yours and yours is better by being a part of hers, then you both complement each other, both offer value to each other, then you can have a great relationship. But if hers sucks and yours is awesome, you invite her in, it may not be that great for you. You may not be that interested long term. If your life sucks and hers is awesome, obviously, why would she join you? So that's a major thing, to just have fun things to do, invite her into, take her out places, helps build the relationship and make her life better so she wants to be with you.
Yeah, I see it as, if you're not the type of guy who, as soon as a woman meets you, her life starts improving right away, just based on the conversations you have, based on, and I don't mean improving like you could give her money, not that type of stuff, but improving just, you're so full of wisdom and you're so full of experience that just having conversations with her, her whole brain just lights up and she's like, I can't get enough of hanging around you. You know, you're the type of person that I wish everybody could be, you know, in the sense that, you know, all of their other friends are full of drama, or they're wasting their time on Facebook all day, or all they do is play video games or watch TV. Then they meet a guy who, he's really focused. He's working on his businesses. He's always improving himself. He takes care of himself. And he's not about bullshit with anybody. When a woman meets a guy like that, she just becomes addicted quickly, because she's not used to meeting guys like that. And she knows that she's probably not going to meet any more guys like that in the future anytime soon. So they really enjoy their time with you. And that's my definition of, you know, if a woman comes into your life, you make her life better just by her spending time with you. If you're not on the level where you, and it's not just women, it's anybody, friends, guys, anybody. If you're not on the level where you're making everybody's life better that interacts with you, then you have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of stuff to figure out.
Absolutely. There's that old adage, leave them better than you found them.
Correct.
Which I think applies to anyone in life. But you said something about guys having their life together and having some ambition and being wise and getting stuff done. And some guys, you know, they're working towards that. They're not entirely there. So that is one way that he can offer value and make her better. But another way, and it's something you talk about in your free ebook, is just to give her good emotions. Just to make her feel good, have fun, laugh, smile, you know, maybe some silly compliments or something. These sorts of things, if she feels good, even though it's not tangible, it is real value, especially to her. And then she's going to want to spend more time with him, talk with him more. And if every time she feels good that she hangs out with him, she's going to want to hang out with him more to get more of those.
Yeah, she gets addicted to those good emotions, because you're not really planting negative seeds. You're always planting positive seeds. And those, they're always growing.
Exactly. And that's offering value rather than using names or trying to bring her down, et cetera, which is different from playful bantering and teasing. But
yeah,
to have a good time and make it better rather than bring her down and make her feel bad, then you're moving in the right direction, in my opinion.
Yeah, as long as she has a good time with you and she feels good around you all the time, even if it's as small as she just enjoys talking to you, you're still adding value. You're adding value to her life, because women run off of emotions. Most of them do. Women are mostly emotional based. They listen to their emotions more than guys do. So if you can plant those positive emotions for her, she's going to take those positive emotions and directly relate them to you and say, that guy is the reason I always feel good when I'm around him. It's not because he has a nice car or a nice house. It's because the way he makes me feel. You know, like Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget the way you made them feel. So
Exactly.
That's very important to me, is the way I make my friends, women I meet, my friends, anybody, my parents, my family, it's the way I make them feel when I talk to them. So
Absolutely. And I like how you take the perspective of a whole life approach. It's not just about women. So I'm kind of the belief that as you get better women in your life. You get better people.
Yeah, because everything you learn about women and dating directly relates to everything else in your life. Almost every single aspect relates to everything. Even something as small as getting a woman's phone number, instead of saying, "Can I have your number?" When you just say, "Hey, give me your number, I'll give you a call later. I got to run." When you say it like that, that translates to business. So instead of walking up to the boss and acting like a wuss and asking for something, you just tell the boss, "Hey, this is what I need to accomplish my goals. Can you help me out?" The boss is more likely to say, "Yeah, sure." It's just everything.
Absolutely. It's assertiveness. And another one of the principles I teach is that you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So in the case of attracting a quality woman, you need to be a quality man. So you match her. So this is along the lines of what you're saying, where if you have your life together, you're more assertive, you're better to people, you're going to meet people and women and attract them into your life because you're similar people. They're going to see value in you, who also have their life together, are good people, are assertive, et cetera, et cetera. What do you think about that?
It's exactly what I say in my book, How to Quit Being a Loser with Women, is the woman on your arm. It's you are the woman on your arm. If you are attracting dramatic, childish, immature women, there's something about you that is childish, dramatic, and immature that you need to change. And as you change, you will notice the women you're dating and the women you are attracting are changing. So if you're an immature, dramatic, crybaby little guy, you're not going to date an Instagram model who really has, I mean, I'm not going to say a lot of Instagram models have their act together because they don't, but there are some who are super successful. They're very smart. They really have their act together. You're not going to attract that type of woman if you don't have your act together. So the number one reason for me for constantly improving myself all these years was I wanted to attract a better and better woman each time. And, you know, I tell my girlfriend all the time, if you would have met me 5 years ago, you probably wouldn't have dated me, because I was just in a different place, different mindset. And that's basically what it is. You're going to attract women with the same mindset as you. So if you're a negative, complaining person, you're going to attract a negative, complaining woman. So you have to change your mindset. You have to change the way you handle yourself if you're going to change the type of women that look at you and they recognize something that's familiar to them, which is your mindset. Because that's the only reason women are attracted to you, is because besides how you look, the mindset, when they spot the mindset traits that are familiar to them, that are the similar ways they think, it adds to that attraction they feel. If they see you respond to certain situations a certain way, they see that and they start like squinting their eyes at you and they're like, something interesting about this guy. Because as you know, as humans, we look for similarities in each other unconsciously at all times.
Absolutely. I agree with similarities. And I also think that a lot of women in their tests of men, really what they're testing for is character. So like if she's mean to you when you go approach her, she's not being mean because she wants to be mean. She wants to see if you have the character of being persistent and being persistent and being able to keep going for what you want, even when it doesn't seem to be going your way. If she flakes on you or something, maybe she doesn't want to see you or something, but maybe she's also just testing to be, is this going to be a guy who can take rejection and let that be and be like, yo, fuck that person. I'm going to go on with my life regardless. And then later she might message back and be like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I was busy and blah, 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 whatever bullshit. But point is, she was testing your character to see what you're going to be like. So when I look back,
either she's testing your character or your character catches her attention.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with that. So it's largely about showing her that you have the character that she would be interested in. And so that's part of why looking attractive as a man is, you turn sideways there, Mark. Maybe you want to turn your phone, I don't know. One of the things that's attractive about a man looking good is that it shows that he cares about himself. And it's not so much that he looks attractive, it's that he shows that he cares about himself and takes himself and how he presents himself seriously. So and he probably takes how he handles himself in the rest of his life seriously as well. So she can be like, oh, that's a man who isn't messing around. That's a man who probably what he does get shit done, and I'd like to find out what he's doing in his life, what he's really like outside of that, and see if that's a man that I could. Oh, looks like we lost Mark. See if I can find him again in a sec. Cool. So we're back with Mark Summers. We had a little bit of technical difficulties there, but we got it sorted out.
Yep.
I don't quite remember what we were on about, but I believe it's something along the lines of one thing I wrote on my site was that when I look back on my life, I can often see the women I dated were a reflection of myself. So you were saying that that's true in your book you wrote, How to Quit Being a Loser with Women, that the woman on your arm is basically you. You are the woman on your arm. So I take it you agree with that.
Yeah, you attract like-minded women.
Exactly. You attract what you are, not what you want. Cool.
Correct.
So you talked about your girlfriend being ambitious and not taking shit and just being like a straightforward, straight talker. So to you, what are the most important traits of a quality woman?
A woman who, number one, she's not wasting her time. She understands life is short. She's not laying around in bed all day or on Facebook, or I don't like women who are addicted to social media. Women who, they understand life is short, they're headed in a direction, they have goals, and they're not taking selfies every 30 seconds. They're not very vain people, and they're all about improving and, just being the best they can be every day.
I agree. They're growing with you. One of the things that the guys I talked to about being quality women, what they wanted, they said is they want a woman who helps make them a better man. That was really important. And I can agree with that because when I look at women I'm interested in, it's, yeah, they're attractive and, maybe they're kind of fun. But at the end of the day, if I'm with them, am I a better person for it? Am I learning? Am I growing? Is she helping me accomplish what I want? Or is it just kind of like, yeah, this is a good time, and then that's going to be it probably, because what's the point long term, sort of? Well, what do you think about that?
I like a woman that when I'm falling short or I'm not being a congruent person, that she's not going to follow me down that rabbit hole. So if I start getting lazy and not getting up in the morning, that she's like, I'm going to do it too. I don't want a woman like that. I want a woman that's like, you said you need to get up at this time, and you're not doing it, and she's like, all right, you can stay in bed and sleep if you want. I'm getting up. I need that type of woman, because somebody who's not going to let me influence them in a negative way. So, I mean, I don't try to date women who I perceive are better than me or further advanced. I try to date women who see our relationship as more of a team effort. I'm going to support you. You're going to support me. I'm going to call you out on your bullshit. You call me out on my bullshit. I'm not going to get butt hurt. You're not going to get butt hurt. We're going to do this together. That type of mentality. Just very, very stoic, straightforward, very mature mentality.
Absolutely. I like that a lot. And the idea of looking for someone who's a teammate rather than saying like,
they're a team player.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of ways to test that, kind of see like, if you go on a date or something and you're like, hey, I'll pay for dinner. Say you go for dinner, right? I don't really recommend dinner dates that much, especially not for the first date. But, say it's your second, third date and you're like, we'll go for dinner at this place I like. It's like, okay, so I got dinner, but you got drinks that we talked about before, after. And she's like, oh yeah, cool, of course. And that she's willing to contribute. She's willing to be a bit of a team player and give something to make this work out, as opposed to just being like, no, you give me this shit and maybe, I'll give you some sexual attention eventually. And that's not a good.
Yeah, she's like totally cool. You're like, I got dinner, you got drinks, and she doesn't even hesitate. Like, you don't even finish your sentence, she's already gone, going to pay for the drinks.
Absolutely. And it's like, if she even offers, then even better, as you're like, wow, this is a woman who is thinking ahead, that she wants to create a good relationship with me and contribute to us having a good relationship in some way, whatever that is, even if it's short or just for fun, whatever. But she wants to make it better for both of us. So awesome. Awesome. That's a good
Yeah,
woman.
and also, if you're the type of guy that you're reading a lot of good books that are helping you, and this is something that's big for me. I've read a lot of books that have changed my life, and I see a woman in a particular situation. I'm not trying to fix her, not trying to help her fix her situation that she got herself into, but I say, hey, not trying to tell you what to do, but this book right here has a lot of insight into your current situation. You just take some time to read it, it'll help. If 3 months later, if she's always on Facebook and she never took the time to read the book, that's a red flag for me. That, okay, she's not serious about her life. But instead, if I'm like, hey, have you read this book? She's like, yeah, have you read these 5? And I'm like, no. She's like, get on your shit, Like my girlfriend, when she moved in with me, she doubled my bookcase. Like I have shelves, like I have 12-foot ceilings in here, so I have like shelves all the way to the top. And it was only like 4 or 5 shelves, and she brought over another 4 or 5 shelves full of the same types of books that I read, which are all self-improvement, business, just success-minded men who write these books just to help other people get better. So
That's awesome. That's a huge.
Yeah, that was awesome. So I'm still trying to read them. She unloaded so many books on me. I'm just like, man. And she's read all of them. So yeah.
True. That's
That
awesome.
was a huge turn on.
I bet. Sapiosexual, huh? You turned on my mind.
Banger on top of all of her books.
It's on a stack. That's hilarious. You can put a bunch of stacks around you and put her legs on top of a bigger stack. That could be okay.
Right? I'd be like, your legs look like these books. They're all open.
I like it. I like it. So I like that you touched on that, because there's a phrase I heard once, and that's that you can't change someone unless they're in diapers. So you said that you're not looking. Isn't that awesome?
That's funny.
So you said you're not looking for a woman where you can solve her problems. Like, you're willing to offer some advice or some help or some information on how she can go ahead and do that sort of thing and help make her life better. But you're not looking to do it for her or save her. And
Yeah.
that's really important, because when you find a woman who is willing to do the work and take what you say, respectfully use it in some sort of way constructively, and then look to make her life better, you can tell this is the kind of woman that you're going to grow with, that you can grow with together. Whereas if you do find a woman where like you're trying to solve her problems and blah, 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 and she's not going to take the effort herself, it's just going to be a constant headache and time suck and probably energy suck for that guy. And so,
she's going to keep creating those problems because she knows that she doesn't have to fix them. Somebody else will fix them. So she's not going to, there's no motivation for her to end that destructive cycle.
Absolutely.
We've all been the guy who's tried to fix a girl's problems before. Some of us learn, some of us don't.
That's right. And it never turns out well, whether you get the girl or not. It never turns out well. It's just not a good idea. So,
and again, the lessons I've learned from women in dating when it comes to fixing their problems, I have, those have translated to my entire life. I don't fix my dad's problems. I don't fix my mom's problems. I don't fix my family's problems. I point them in the right direction. I offer them some guidance, but I'm not going to do it for them. A lot of women, they not only want you to point them in a direction, but they want you to carry them there. And then do everything for them. And it's the same thing with friends and family and everything else. You can't be, if you're the type of guy that you're fixing all your friends' problems, you're fixing your parents' problems, your family's problems, then you're probably fixing women's problems. And you got to just stop all of it. Educate yourself on how to fix those problems in your own life. And then when somebody else has them, point them in the right direction, provide them with some materials. Whether they look at the materials or they make the effort to make the change in their life, that's up to them. That's not on you.
Absolutely.
That's the way I see it. It has to be like that.
Absolutely. If you keep doing that, you're enabling them in being a victim. So then they're going to keep being a victim. Someone will solve their problems for them. If you point them in the right direction and help them get a step forward themselves, you're teaching them and helping them solve their own problems, which is an important life skill.
And women respect you less when they're like, oh, I have this problem, and you're like, no big deal, I'll fix it for you as long as you give me attention. They don't respect you. But when you're like, hell no, I'm not fixing your problem, and they're like, why? And you're like, because you got yourself in that problem. I'm not getting you out of it. I'll support you. I'll point you in the right direction, but I'm not going to get you out of it. It's up to you to do it. Women respect you a hell of a lot more when they know that they can't use you to give them money or something stupid, you know.
Absolutely. A lot of time they'll test you to see if you will do these things.
Yeah, they do. They see if you're a pushover.
That's right. Because a lot of guys who will, they know that those guys are just trying to do it to get with them. That those guys aren't really authentically showing them who they are. They go, that isn't a guy I really want. That guy's full of shit because he's trying to manipulate me by doing these things for me. But if you say,
Yeah.
look, sweetie, I understand you got that problem. Here's what I think you should do. You do your thing. She goes, okay, cool. Thank you. This man respects his time and himself, where he's not going to go solve my problems for me. He's not trying to manipulate me by doing these things for me. He's trying to help. And he's leaving it up to me to grow as a person to go solve this. And a healthy woman's going to be like, okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. And if you later meet up with her and chat with her and she's got that solved, you're like, good job. I knew you could do that. That was wicked. It's awesome you got that done. It's like, oh, thank you. She feels appreciated for the person she is and what she did. She goes, that's a man I can spend some time with because he's going to help me be a better person and make me a better person, as opposed to that's someone I can make dance with my fingers like a puppet.
Yeah, there's some women that you'll be like, come over, and they'll be like, okay. And then when they're there, they're like, can you give me some gas money to get home? And most guys are like, yeah, sure. Me, I'm like, oh, you don't have gas money? Well, maybe you should have thought about that before getting in your car and driving across town. That's really irresponsible. No, I'm not going to give you gas money. That wasn't the deal. It was you for come over and hang out. And, you know, I'm pretty sure you have enough money for gas. I'm not going to give it to you.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't have that happen a lot, but I've had that happen before, and that's how I pretty much handled it. I may seem like an asshole for it, but trust me, women respect you a hell of a lot more when you give them that type of answer. You know, you're holding them accountable. Simple as that.
Absolutely. And if she had said, like, yeah, I want to come over, but money's kind of tight, it's a long drive, it's going to be $20 on gas.
That's when you're like, okay, I'll give you about $5 or $10 of gas if you come over. Okay, then you don't have to hold her accountable anymore because you're the one that volunteered that. But if she doesn't open her mouth and all of a sudden, oh, look at me, I'm out of gas, it's like, too bad. You should have said something before.
I agree. 100%.
You know, if a woman's acting childish, you got to treat her like a child, you know. Sorry, grow up.
It's true. Another principle I sort of heard is that this isn't necessarily related to like marriage, but sort of. It says a good husband makes a good wife. So in some sorts of ways, the man has to keep the woman accountable to act appropriate in some ways. So for example, you're talking about how if she says, can you throw $10 for gas my way before I come? It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Or maybe money's tight. But after, if she's like, oh, give me $20 for gas, you're like, no, that wasn't the deal. We didn't agree upon this. It sounds.
Yeah, how come you're just hitting this? How come you're hitting me with this right now? You didn't know how to say something sooner.
Exactly.
It's like you're inconveniencing me now, and this wouldn't be an issue had you been more mature and just spoken up.
Exactly. So in the case where you're like, nah, I'm not going to give you the gas money because she asked for it after she came. In that case, you're teaching her in the future to not pull that kind of behavior, that you're not going to be the kind of person who's.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that way, I think that a good husband makes a good wife, and that you have to have your shit together and interact with her in the right way that improves her and keeps her acting appropriately so that she doesn't think that she can get over on you or try to get over on you because she knows she can't. She kind of keeps her in line. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Yeah, like my girlfriend, she's the type that she's like, hey, can I borrow your car to go to the to go get a Twinkie from the gas station or something? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And she brings it back. She put $40 of gas in it. And I'm like, you didn't have to do that. You know, she's that type of person. But, like in the event, she would never pull some stupid shit like what we're talking about. Like, hey, by the way, she would never do that. Ever. So like you know, I don't really have, in the past, I have had to hold women accountable just for stupid situations that they put themselves in. And it's like, what are you doing? You know, but my girlfriend's not like that. She pretty much thinks ahead about everything that could possibly go wrong or something that could be a problem. And she creates a contingency plan way ahead of time.
Wow.
To
That
make
sounds
sure
awesome.
that she doesn't inconvenience me in any kind of way whatsoever. And I'm the same way with her. I'm not going to inconvenience her over something stupid. She doesn't inconvenience me, you know.
That's really sweet. Sounds like she's going out of her way
Really
to make your
responsible.
life better, and you likewise.
Of course, you know, and to me, that's just common sense. Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't like that, but just the way my mind works is I just don't I just literally cannot comprehend when people just aren't like that. It's like, okay, you failed to think, okay, you're going to borrow my car and, you know, you're going to use all my gas up and bring it back and just act like you didn't notice you used up half of my gas in my car. You know, she's not like that. She drives a mile, she'll put gas in it, or she'll buy me something, or she just really, you know, or she'll text me or call me, do you want something? She's just really considerate, you know. And most of the time the answer is no from me. I'm the type of person, I don't like getting Christmas presents. I don't like people doing stuff for me or giving me things, but she's very considerate, you know, and she always goes out of her way to ask if I need something, yada yada. She doesn't just go to the store and come back with 100 things and I'm like, hey, I needed this. And she's like, oh, yeah. No, she goes to the store, calls me on the phone. I'm at the store. Do you need anything? Every single time, you know?
That's sweet.
So
That's
it's
really
just common sense. It's just a common sense personality trait that men should definitely have when it comes to women. Being considerate does not make you a nice guy, doesn't make you a pussy, doesn't make you a pushover, just makes you a good person. Simple as that.
That's
And there's
right.
no reason women cannot be, a high quality woman is going to be considerate of the man she's dating, regardless of the situation. If
Absolutely.
there's any time a woman is inconsiderate, she better have a damn good reason for just the mental blunder that she just had, you know.
That's right. See, a lot of pickup and dating coaches teach that you shouldn't be nice or considerate or whatever because it's weak and needy or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, if you're doing it because you want to get something from the woman and you want to manipulate her or influence her in some way, then
Yeah,
yeah,
that's kind of weak.
it's a bad
Yeah.
idea. But if you're doing it because it's the right thing to do, you like to, you want to make her feel good, then it's not needy or manipulative because you're doing it out of a good reason that you wanted to do. You're not looking to get anything from it. So, you know, if you borrow her car and you fill it up with gas or she does the same for you, it's not because she wants you to think good things about her and this sort of thing. It's because she wants to do something nice. She's not trying to manipulate you. So in that way, it's really, really healthy and really good for the relationship to do things like
It's
that.
kind of just the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. Simple as
I agree.
that. That's how she sees it, you know.
Unless they're masochists, then you might want to reconsider.
Yeah, and we've never had a fight, knock on wood, somewhere around
Yeah,
here, but we've never had a fight. We've been together a year. Never had a single fight. We've disagreed on stuff, and it's like, okay, we don't agree on that. Big freaking deal. We move on. But I mean, other than that, she's just a very considerate person. I'm considerate. We both think about the same things at the same time because we're very selfless people. We don't think about ourselves all the time. We think, okay, what does somebody else need? You know, you've heard the phrase, don't look at your neighbor to see if they have more than you. Look at your neighbor to see if they have enough.
mm,
You've heard that. You know, it's being considerate. Don't look at your neighbor to see how much more they have. Look to see if they have as much as you, or if they're doing okay. And if not, go over and freaking help. You know,
absolutely.
and we both live by that philosophy.
That's awesome. One, that's the right thing to do. And two, goes along with the philosophy of you attract what you are, not what you want. Since you're like that, you attract
Yeah.
everyone who's like that because your values match each other. So it makes sense.
Yeah, she was like that since the day I met her. Hey, you want to come over and drink? She was like, okay, do you want me to stop and buy some beer? Wasn't like, hey, free beer. She was like, do you want me to stop and get some? Or she'd stop and buy, like, we don't drink very much, but when she drinks, she likes whiskey and shit.
Mm.
So she'd go to the store and buy a bottle of whiskey, and she'd be like, "Look, I got you one too." I'm like, "Thanks."
That's sweet. You guys are getting hammered together. Hey, a woman whose drink of choice is whiskey, you got to give a little respect to. There's a little bit of
She's a
unspoken.
little hardcore like that, yeah.
Absolutely. So I feel like there's three principles we really touched on there that were really important. One is you attract what you are, not what you want. The other is that you can't change someone unless they're in diapers. So you need to find an awesome partner because you won't be able to make not so good partner an awesome one.
Yeah, don't try to find a woman who's a project. Don't look at her and be like, I see her potential. I'm going to make her into that. You're never going to do it. Ever.
Absolutely. Never.
Find a woman who's already there and try to befriend her and try to team up with her.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And then the third principle is a good husband makes a good wife. So if you want to have an amazing woman, you need to be a good man. You need to choose an awesome woman. And those things will come together because you attract what you are, not what you like. What do you think of that?
I agree.
Cool. That's kind of
I agree. We're touching on some very high level subjects right now that a lot of dating coaches don't ever touch on because they don't comprehend it or their mind just isn't at that level. Their mind is still at, here's how to go out and get pussy. You know, and their mind's just not even close to being at the level. If you meet a super high quality woman, number one, how are you going to get along with her? Number two, how are you going to date her? Number three, how are you going to keep her? That stuff is light years beyond how to get her phone number.
Absolutely.
Like light years. You have to have a whole nother level of comprehension to begin to even communicate with women like that.
I agree. And a lot of dating and PUA coaches focus on how can you get the number, how can you get the kiss, how can you get laid ASAP. So,
yeah, and they do that because a lot of guys are short-term minded and they only want the short-term gain. So I'm going to teach short-term stuff because the short-term minded men are going to give me their money. They're not really, really invested in seeing this guy make massive gains in his life and massive improvements in his cognitive ability to get along with women or to have a great life with women. They're just looking for the quick buck. That's why they teach small little stuff. And I understand some of those things are crutches and there are roadblocks to getting numbers and you have to teach how to get over them. But, you know, teach them that stuff really quick and move on to the more advanced stuff because that's the more important stuff that these men absolutely have to know.
I agree. And there's a big difference between being able to get a girl's phone number really quickly and being able to date an awesome woman you might actually really want to have a relationship with. So one skill is pretty easy, quick, okay, whatever. Another is a whole nother level of just being another person, being a better person. And I think if you just aim for this, that the phone numbers and whatnot, they come pretty easily if you really
take care of themselves.
Exactly.
Because if you focus on getting phone numbers, you may be able to get 100 girls' phone numbers, but only 6 of them are actually going to be worth your time. The other 94 are going to be such a waste of time for you, and you're just going to be like, why am I getting so many phone numbers? Absolutely.
And here's the other thing. I mean, I'm assuming from your story you told me earlier, we should tell the story about how you met 3 women, how you started your website. We'll start that after. But as a man who's like gotten with enough women to have some experience and know what you're talking about, in my experience, just getting with women really quickly is really not actually that exciting. Like it's all right, you know.
Anymore.
Yeah, like it's fun for what it is, but it is definitely shallow and lacking in intimacy and development and betterment of oneself. So it's actually a lot more rewarding, and to be fair, the sex is better because you're more into it with a woman that you actually may be interested in long term, that you are emotionally interested in, that is like so sexy to you that you're like, damn, I could maybe smack that butt for fucking forever, maybe. You know, I might slap it around for the rest of my life. You never know. So I don't really see other dating coaches focusing on the sort of high level stuff we're talking about. They focus more on the low level stuff to get these women into bed quickly, but actually it's not very rewarding. It's not very satisfying, and the sex is not as good, and blah, blah, blah. So actually it's really not just awesome. It sounds awesome from an ego perspective. It sounds awesome, but the actuality of it is you got to keep these women at sort of arm's length because they often become attached to you. The sex isn't that good because you're not really that intimate with them, even if they are hot. A lot of the women who will hook up with you quickly aren't doing it out of really healthy reasons. They're doing it because they want validation, or something bad happened with their boyfriend, or maybe they're not completely healthy women, so this is kind of attention they get from men. And they aren't the kind of women you'd really want to build a long-term relationship with. They aren't really the type of quality women that most guys would really want. So that's my experience with most of the women who hook up quite quickly, and why I think it's okay, but I don't really advocate or aim to make that happen as soon as possible, because it's better when it doesn't, in my opinion, if she makes you wait a little bit. What do you think about that overall?
What I think is that, and a lot of men listening to us right now may be like, what he said is absurd. Women who sleep with you fast are awesome. Well, here's the thing. When you've dated enough women and you've worked on yourself to become a high quality man who is really focused and just not about bullshit, when you meet these women who they'll just go home with you when you buy them one drink, it's no longer a turn on. There is nothing that when a woman's like, come on, let's go to your car, I'll suck your dick right now. You're like, no, because I just met you 5 minutes ago, and if you're doing that with me, how many other guys have you done that with? So women who are easy, when you become a high quality man, easy women are a turnoff. And especially if like you're horny and you're like, okay, I'm going to go bang her, you're not going to respect her. You're just going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to save this one under booty calls or something. She's not relationship material. Because the woman I want to marry, I do not want her going home with me after 5 minutes. And, a guy who, I'm not going to call him a low quality guy, but a guy who hasn't invested a lot in himself, meaning years learning and just becoming better. Those type of women are what they're looking for. And that's okay. Because those women are going to give them confidence and help them move to the next level. But eventually they are going to outgrow. They are going to outgrow those type of women. Because if there's a guy listening right now and he's just beginning with women and dating, if he continues on that path, 5 years from now, the women he's attracted to today, he's probably going to be repulsed by them 5 years from now. He's going to be like, oh, I can't believe I used to be attracted to her. Like, man, she's so trashy. Or she's just not even on my level. I think that's a phase every guy goes through, because I even think about it like 10 years ago. I was like, man, why did I date her? What the hell? And I was like, I was crazy about her. And now she's like blowing up my phone and I'm about to block her number. This is ridiculous. So it's like when you become a high quality man, low quality behavior from women, that's what I call it, low quality behavior, such as coming onto you way too fast and just making themselves too easy. It communicates to the guy that she just doesn't have high standards. She's not very valuable. She doesn't really respect herself. And she has something crazy going on under the hood that you probably don't want to see.
That's right. So
it's the hard to get girls that the high quality men, they don't really chase them. High quality men don't chase women, but they catch their eye and they keep their eye on them and they're interested. They're a lot more interested in those women than the women who will sleep with you quickly and easily.
I agree. And in my experience, the highest quality women, one, know how high quality they are. They know they're attractive. They know they have their life together. They know a lot of guys want them. So they're like, I have choice. I don't need to get with you real quick because there's going to be guys who are going to work to get with me. So they don't hop in bed with you that quick. Secondly, they understand that it's better, probably from life experience, to actually have built some kind of relationship and connection before you sleep together. And they appreciate that. They know the more you wait, the more you flirt, the more there's tension. When that tension gets released, it's going to be better. So they enjoy building that up a reasonable amount. I'm not saying she makes you wait, 10 dates or the 3 months or whatever Steve Harvey says, but a reasonable amount to where there is some connection, some relationship, some tension built. So when you release it, it is better.
And a high quality woman wants to see how patient you are. Absolutely. She wants to see if you're patient, and she's not doing it consciously. She's not like, okay, I want to see how patient this guy is. She's not doing it consciously. It's just it's just a motor running in the back of her head that it catches her attention. She's like, this guy's really patient. He's like not trying to bang me right now, which I like that about him.
It goes back to something you said about standards, is they have standards. So
standards, exactly.
I hold myself to, and she does. And so the guy has to also hold himself and their relationship in her to a certain type of standard for it to work out, I think.
A high quality man can wait for anything. He can wait for anything. If a woman is high quality enough, if she makes him wait 6 months, he's like, no big deal. I got this.
Well, I think 6 months is a little crazy, but
that's why I said 6 months, because it is crazy. But even at that crazy rate, a high quality man is like, I don't care. I'll wait. He'll go do things and he'll go do stuff in his own, he'll have his own life, but he's not going to make his whole life about her. But my dog's getting all tangled up. He'll be patient. Because a high quality man is like, okay, if I get impatient, it's going to make me look weak. And I'm definitely not going to do that. I'm just going to play it cool so she doesn't think I'm some desperate guy.
And it's not even that. I don't think it's so that she won't think that, but it's more just that he's willing to wait to find out what happens while he's working on his life and doing other things and probably seeing other women. Being like, if this is a quality woman, eventually she's going to, I don't want to say give in, but be open-minded, give us a chance, because I'm being fun, I'm being flirty, having a good time, I'm inviting her out to cool things and giving value. And sooner or later, she's going to see that this is an opportunity where she can enjoy and have a little bit of fun maybe, and then she can come join along and see how that turns out. So I think a quality man knows that a quality woman will eventually be open-minded to someone who is attractive and offering value and having fun, and give that a go. And if she doesn't, then maybe she's not really a quality woman. Maybe she's too close-minded.
Yeah, and plus if you're a high quality man and you know how to build attraction, then if you know what you're doing, she's going to reach her limit to where she just can't take it anymore. And she's going to call you and be like, come bang my brains out now. And a lot of high quality women, they'll do their best to hold out, but they just get to the point where they can't take it. But they don't do that when they first meet you. It takes a little bit of time, but it's definitely worth the wait.
That's right.
When that bomb goes off, it's awesome.
Absolutely. And there's so few guys who put in that time and have that patience that separates you from the other. So when she thinks about a guy she wants, and you're that guy who's still there, who's still been going at it, having fun, casually inviting her out, offering value, whatever, she goes, okay, I'm going to go with that guy as opposed to the random guy from before. And that's when you get your opportunity to have an awesome time with her. And since you spent all that time, that familiarity, that sort of trust of showing that you're interested and patient enough to wait until she'll give you a proper opportunity, then she may just be like, yo, that's the guy, I'm going with him now. And like you said, she might just break suddenly and be like, yeah, okay, we're going for drinks. I want him. Let's go back to your place. And it's not like you just met her the first night. It's like
a high quality man, he can tell the difference between a slutty girl and a high quality woman who's just really horny and she only wants to sleep with you and nobody else.
Absolutely.
Easy to see that.
Absolutely. She wants to sleep with you because you were the high quality man who kept putting the work in, who was patient, who was fun, who offered value, who eventually she just couldn't deny. She just couldn't deny. It's like there's a quote on my site from Bob Marley, and it's along the lines of everyone in life is going to hurt you. You got to find the ones who are worth it. It's like, wait, I got it on my desktop. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, I heard that one the other day.
Yeah, if she's amazing, she won't be easy. If she's easy, she won't be amazing. If she's worth it, you won't give up. If you give up, you're not worthy. So it's kind of like, keep going, living your life, seeing other women, doing your thing. And eventually, if it's awesome, if you're awesome, if she's awesome, and the logistics work out, then you guys can get together and make something happen. And if it doesn't happen with her, there's lots of other women that you can still keep building relationships with that may be awesome as well. So I look at it as a perspective of create the awesome relationships you want to have that have opportunities to create the long-term relationship you might be interested in. And from those, choose the best one for you. So I believe in creating options, choosing from abundance, and then choosing your best woman that you would like to have out of some really great options, as opposed to focusing on, you know, how can I get the most women and sleep with them and blah, 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 and doing that ad infinitum, ad nauseum for years and years. And in the end, still a lot of guys do that don't have the women they really want, don't have the relationship they really want, don't have the communication skills, the friends, the life they really want, because they spent all this time getting laid rather than building their life to the way that they might really want it to be in the long term, i.e. becoming a quality man like you're talking about.
Yeah.
You think so? You think that's my personal take on it?
Yeah, a lot of guys, their challenge is, I wonder how many chicks I can bang this year or this month or whatever. But eventually, a lot of them, they get bored with that because it's no longer fun. It's like, yeah, I know I'm going to bang 5 chicks this week. It's no big deal anymore. So they start to play this little game with themselves, not even knowing it, which is, I wonder if I can get her because she looks higher quality. I wonder if I could get her. And before they know it, they've psyched themselves out from dating, from trying to bang lower quality chicks to only trying to get high quality women. In their pursuit of trying to get high quality women, they've improved themselves dramatically. Because, you know, I always say, hey, if you ever get a chance to date a high quality woman, she's going to teach you some high quality lessons, because you are going to screw up with a high quality woman. Every guy does. You're going to screw up somehow. Based on how she reacts to it or not, you're still going to learn from it. And that's a high quality lesson, because there are lessons you're going to learn with high quality women that you will never learn with average women, because high quality women are just on such a different level with that. Your communication and just your whole relationship with them is on such a different level that you're going to learn lessons, bigger lessons than you would if you were to date just 20 average girls. You could date 3 high quality women and learn 10 times as much than if you dated 20 average girls or 100 low quality women.
I agree. And actually the skills and mindsets, how you treat an average woman to get her, often will not work in dating a quality woman. Because she's seen that before and she's seen those tricks and she goes, no, I don't want that.
She sees them all the time. And
That's right.
The reason she's high quality is because she's smart enough to identify them as they're happening. A lot of dumb women, they're just so dumb. They're not able to pick up on human behavior and notice the pattern. Like either they don't make an effort or their brain just doesn't pick up on it. Like some women, they can see a certain behavior 2 or 3 times and they're like, check, got it. And when they see it, they're like, I know what you're doing, knock it off. Other women, you can do it to them 50 times and their mind is so preoccupied with something that's not important that part of their brain that's supposed to identify that behavior, it's just not even working, because their mind is so focused on such low priority activities or low quality people and things, like watching, just like being on social media and taking selfies nonstop. Some women, that they're just so occupied with that stuff that they're not paying attention to what's going on. And other women, they're not preoccupied with trying to look like somebody from the Kardashians. They're not worried about taking selfies. They're not worried about getting approval on Facebook. You know, they don't wake up in the morning and they're like still tired and they take a selfie while they're drinking coffee. They don't do stupid stuff like that. So their mind is freed up to, I know I sound kind of dumb right now, but their mind is freed up to catch the important stuff. So they're the ones that when dumb or low quality guys come along, they spot their behavior instantly. They know exactly what's going on and they're just not having it. So
I agree.
I'm sure there was a better way to say that, but yeah.
No, I get it. I think it's simply summed up as a lot of things that will get you average women won't get you quality women. And I
Yeah.
know this because I've lost quality women by treating them like the average women that I had success with. And they were just like, I'm not having this. It's not right. It's not what I want. I'm out. It's wrong. And so that's how I learned it was different. I went, wow, I got to take this to another level. I got to get my shit together with how I deal with people, relationships, myself, so that when I meet women like that, I can create relationships with them in the right way so that we can enjoy that together and create something nice together, as opposed to just get laid ASAP. And
Correct.
it's much better. This other one is just much better and has so much more potential for something in the future, as opposed to just get laid is like, okay, great, now I got laid, but whatever. Like I've turned down women at I was at a nightclub, and this girl was really cute. She was blonde and tall and Russian, banging, great dancer, and she seemed really into me. And there was another girl who was also attractive, but not on the same level. If one was like, you know, possible girlfriend material, the other one was like, yeah, it was like, you know, good hookup, but that's about it. And I got rid of the blonde girl and I went with the other girl, and I seen her like once or twice, and that was it. And I thought, like, well, you know, if I had just a little more foresight, I could have just went with the other girl and spent some time with her, hung out, got her phone number, and maybe later made up. Maybe it could have been something nice, could have been something good. But instead, I just got these one or two hookups, which are okay, but at the end of the day, mean nothing. Mean absolutely nothing long term.
There's no value in it.
Yeah, it was a snack. It was a good snack, but that's about it. You know, I'm still hungry. So it's definitely different to date the quality women. It takes more time, more patience, like you said, being more on point, and choosing them as a priority over the average women, so that your time and brain power and effort isn't wasted on something that's going nowhere, as opposed to something that could potentially go somewhere and be something really nice, like, for example, you and your girlfriend.
Yeah, so like what you were saying made me think about something that, you know, as a guy, you don't have to work your way up dating low quality and average and then high quality women. You can shortcut the system by having high quality friends. If you hang out with a bunch of dudes, choose the guys you hang out with more wisely. Start hanging out with high quality men. The same way you're going to interact with those guys, you're going to learn some very valuable lessons that are going to be very, very tangible and useful when it comes to high quality women. Because a high quality person is a high quality person. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. They have similar principles. They have similar ways of thinking, ways of behaving. So if you can get used to hanging out with high quality guys and watching your ass and being careful what you say and do around them, then you're going to start learning, and then you're going to be able to use what you've learned with high quality women. And it's definitely going to make your life a lot easier. And you know, if as a man, you should naturally be seeking out higher quality male friends to begin with. You should always be seeking out higher quality people to spend your time with, not only just women. You can't date high quality women and have low quality friends. Just won't work.
It's true. It's true. Definitely are who you surround yourself with. And women are
Exactly.
going to be your friends and judge you partly based upon that. If your friends don't have their shit together
Yeah.
and they're not cool and fun and moving forward in life, they're probably not
Yeah,
really.
she's going to be like, you're hanging out with these losers?
So you're a loser too then? Okay, see you, buddy. You know, there's a nice chance. I thought we had a chance, but that was it. So, yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. That's a very astute observation, Mark.
Yeah, and that's just a small part of a much, much deeper discussion on who you surround yourself with. But, you know, that's something, if that little topic of discussion intrigues anybody, you know, do some research on it and learn about it. It's going to help you with women. Absolutely.
I agree. They say you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around, right? So if you got friends who are business people, who are good with women, who are personable and fun, then you yourself will also become better with women, more business-minded, more fun, and people want to spend more time around you as well.
Yeah, and if you're a guy and you literally, physically do not know any men or people that are high quality, get on YouTube and start listening to millionaires and billionaires and CEOs and just Fortune 500 people or authors. Listen to them speak and spend your time every day, 2 to 3 hours a day, listening to these people talk. There is your high quality there's the people you spend the most time with.
I agree.
You know, you don't have to physically spend time with your friends. Spend time listening to people talk.
I agree. You can associate with them through these videos and books and whatnot.
Correct.
And them. I think a really important thing for people to take you as being quality and take you seriously is your fashion and fitness. Because people judge someone whether or not they think they want to know them within 0.7 seconds of seeing them, not even talking to them. So when a man has his fashion and fitness on point, doesn't have to be amazing, doesn't have to be the best ever, just good enough where it looks like that man respects
He
himself.
doesn't look like a slob.
Exactly. Then other people will start taking him more seriously as well. So if you're listening to millionaire talks all day long, but still dressing like, I don't know, Zucks is a bad example, you know, some sort of like video game nerd or something, then probably people aren't going to take what you have to say outside of, you know, that sort of realm where people dress like that, i.e. like video games or tech or programming or something, very seriously. But if you go somewhere and you're, you know, fairly well dressed, your fashion is in order, you have good body language, people without even meeting you are going to be like, okay, that's someone I might be interested in meeting. Let me find out what their thing is about. And then when you have substance to go along with that appearance, people go, okay, that's a quality person who not only looks good, but is good. And if you have a good network, like you talked about having quality friends, you can connect people with other quality people. Now you're really a mover and a shaker. Now you're really hitting things on all three fronts.
Yeah, if you see somebody who looks like they have a good head on their shoulders, based by how they're dressed, based by their fitness, based by the way they stand, the way they look, the way they move, all of that communicates to women and other people what kind of person you are. And a high quality person is going to look at you and they're going to say, that person might have something to offer me. And they're just unconsciously going to do that because high quality people only want to be friends with people who are going to provide value. They don't want to be friends with somebody who's going to take value. They want to be friends with somebody who's going to give value. So if you look like a man, and this goes back to our beginning of our conversation, if you look like a man who can provide some kind of value to someone that's not monetary value, but more of a non-physical value or whatever, then they are going to say, I want to meet that person because it looks like I can either learn something from them or it looks like they are very like-minded. So when somebody is like-minded, they're providing you value because you're finding similarities between each other, and that releases serotonin, that releases dopamine. When you and another person have a lot of things in common, it's a dopamine rush, and that provides value to people. So yeah, you know, it's like the guy who drives the big truck with the little aggressive stickers on the back about how he'll beat you up. And then he's this dorky, insecure guy. He's driving that truck to cover up for other things. Like you said, you can't just take one quality and drive it into the ground and people are going to think you're the greatest. You have to work on everything. You know, if you're becoming a higher quality man, you have to start dressing better. That doesn't mean you have to wear suits, but it doesn't mean you need to keep wearing t-shirts. It doesn't mean you need to keep wearing t-shirts that say fuck the cops, you know. It doesn't mean you need to keep wearing pants that hang halfway down your ass or they're way too big for you and it just looks completely sloppy. You can get nice clean t-shirts that fit you better. You can get pants that fit you better. You could buy shoes for $10 from Payless that look awesome. Nobody's going to ask where they're from. And just that little bitty change is going to make such a drastic difference in the way people perceive you. If you have your stomach's hanging over your belt, freaking have some self-discipline. Start eating better. Start going jogging. Once you get better at jogging, start going to the gym. Get yourself in better shape so that the shape you're in tells people exactly what's going on in your mind. If you're a fat piece of shit, women and other guys are gonna say this person is sloppy minded because and this is for most people, that this person is sloppy minded because if they don't take the time to consider how they look and make an effort into improving how they look, just for even just health wise, then they're probably not very focused, or they probably don't give a shit about anything else either. You know, if you have a sloppy appearance, somebody that's high quality is going, and I talk about this in my book, Declare War on Yourself. If you have a sloppy appearance, other people who are worth your time are going to look at you and they're going to say, oh, he's sloppy in the way he dresses. He's probably sloppy in the way he keeps his car, keeps his house. He's probably sloppy in the way he does everything. He's probably sloppy in his decision making, in the way he speaks, in the way he responds, in the way he treats people. And it's just one of those undeniable truths that everything about you is linked to everything else about you. If you improve your mind, you're naturally going to improve your body. If you improve your body, you're naturally going to improve the way you dress. You improve the way you dress, you're naturally going to improve the way you communicate with other people. It's just one of these domino effects that you can't stop from happening.
I agree.
You agree? Yeah.
Absolutely. And the way you present yourself, really, to me, is your first step in saying what you think about yourself. It's the first thing people are going to see and notice about you. It's the first presentation you can make about how you take yourself. So if you use your fashion and fitness to express who you feel you are as a person, saying, oh, I feel I'm a healthy, fit, well put together, attractive person. People look at you and be like, oh, I think that person is a well fit, well put together, attractive person. Like, oh, cool.
People are judging you before you open your mouth.
Absolutely. And it's your opportunity to present who you think you are to people before you ever get a chance to meet and talk with them. And that's huge because they will judge immediately. Like you said, you see a big guy, you immediately assume all these things about him being sloppy. You see a fit guy, kind of think, oh, that person, you must be disciplined in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, the first thing I recommend that guys deal with, the most immediately actionable thing to being taken more seriously by people and women, and quality women especially, who probably also take care of themselves, is the fashion and fitness. Because one, it makes you look better, and two, it's an expression of your values. You're saying, I care about myself enough to take care of myself and to express myself forward in a way that's positive or socially positive, or at least authentic, however you choose to dress. I'm not saying everyone has to dress the same way, but however you choose to, make sure it's well put together for whatever you're trying to express. They say, okay, I can get a bit about that person's personality and see they care about themselves, and maybe they have some creativity or some interest or something with it. It's like, cool. Already, I'd kind of like to know about that person. What is the creativity? Why did they think so good about themselves? How did they become disciplined? Maybe there's something I can learn from that person. Whereas when they don't have those, it's kind of like, oh, that person might be a bad influence. Maybe they'll want me to go eat shitty food. Maybe they'll want me to go drinking every night. Maybe they'll want me to sit around and watch TV, Netflix, as opposed to, you know, reading a book or going for a jog or something. So despite the fact this seems superficial, I think it's not superficial at all. It's an expression of one's personality, and that it's the most immediately actionable and result-getting thing guys can improve right from the get, even before they learn any communication skills.
Because if you improve all of that stuff, you don't even have to open your mouth around women as much, and you're going to get better results.
Absolutely.
Because the worse you look, the more you have to talk her into it.
That's
right. The better you look, she's just going to put her hand on your mouth and just say, don't even talk.
Well, there's pros and cons, okay? Because like I've found, since I've gotten fitter and dressed better, there are some women who are immediately more interested, but there are some women who are immediately like, that guy's a guy who probably gets some women. That's a guy who's probably a smooth talker. And that's a guy I kind of got to be on my defense about a little bit. So the guard maybe up a little bit in a playful way, but I would rather.
Those women usually aren't worth your time.
Well, I think it depends. It's just, it's a different problem, right? So if you're not fit, you got to show that you know, you are socially responsible and apt and you have good personality and blah blah blah. Whereas if you're really jacked and well dressed or something, you might have to prove that you have substance, you're trustworthy, you're not just a dumb playboy fuckboy or something. So it's the question is like, which problem would you rather have? And I'd rather have the, oh, you're attractive, prove to me you're not just a dumb fuckboy, than you're not really attractive, prove to me I should be attracted to you. Because I think this solution is a lot easier to solve with some time, patience, personality, and communication than this one. And this one will give me more opportunities from the get because they're already somewhat physically interested. Then this one where they're like, no, I'm not interested. And you got to earn your chance, which could be more difficult. So both have their pros and cons, but this situation I find a lot more advantageous to work from. What do you think?
A third part of the equation that's a con that, and I say this as humbly as possible, something that I've had to deal with for many years, is other men with low self-esteem automatically not liking you just because women think you're handsome, or you're in better shape than them, or you carry yourself better than them, or they perceive that you are better looking than them. You know, they automatically get defensive, and it hurts your it hurts your relationships with the type of dudes you don't want to be friends with anyways, if they're like that. But those are the type of guys that are in women's ears being like, I don't know about this guy. I don't know about this guy. He looks like a playboy and all that stuff. I mean, I've dealt with that problem for years. I still deal with it everywhere I go. And it's one of those things that other men who just don't perceive themselves as high quality, other men who perceive themselves as high quality, they're just like hugging you. They're like, where you been, dude? But guys who are lower quality, they see you as a major threat. When you're fat and sloppy and dumb and you're not working on yourself, you make these guys with these low quality guys feel better about themselves because they don't feel like they have to compete with you. But as soon as you get in shape and you take care of yourself and you're sharp and squared away and you pay attention to how you conduct yourself, all of a sudden these men become very threatened and they put their guard up, and it's just weird. It's just weird. And I'm sure there's guys listening to this that they're like, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's just weird when that happens. But that's one of the cons of becoming a high quality man, is you're going to have a lot of guys around you just being complete haters for no reason. You can be as nice as you want to them. They don't, they're not having it. It's weird. And it hurts your dating life sometimes because these guys are talking shit. But at the same time, if they're talking shit, it makes women want you even more.
That's right. There's one, fuck the haters, and two, women know that when a guy is talking shit about another guy, it's because they perceive him as a threat. And if he's perceived,
and it makes her see him as higher quality now.
Exactly. Because the other guy's intimidated, he must be on another level, or at least direct competition, and he's worried.
Yeah, and she wants to be on that level. She wants to see what level that guy's on. Exactly. She wants to. So guys who are like, stay away from that guy, he looks like a playboy, he just talked her into sleeping with him. Because now she's like, ooh, I want him even more now.
That's right. Let me find out if that's true.
Exactly. That's the way it works.
Another thing I noticed that once I got fitter, like women would immediately respond a little better and give me more of a chance. So that was cool. But they weren't like, oh, well, sometimes they're like, oh, you're so fit, blah, 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 nice. I'm like, okay, thanks. But the main people that notice are other dudes. So if I'm out somewhere and I'm chatting up a girl, and I got, fairly good taste, I like to think. So I go for some fairly attractive women. And guys will come by and they'll look at me chatting to the girl. And you can see them think like, oh, maybe I'll go in and interrupt. Maybe I'll go in and kind of ruin that. Because guys always want to, like, come in and take a girl. A big ego boost. But they look at me and they go, nah, not him. And they think like, yo, if I start a fight with him, I might lose real bad. And I'm like, I'm not that big or anything, but I like having that.
And it is intimidating. It's intimidating to women and men when you are a high quality person and you're very squared away. It's very intimidating. And some guys, like you said, they're just like, no, I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah, so it's like, thanks, buddy. See ya. The competition immediately becomes less.
Just overall.
Yeah, there's just not many guys on that level. The downside is that some guys want to try more because you seem like a guy who gets some women. So I'm going to be like, yo, I'm going to be the guy who's going to take the girl from the fit, well-dressed guy, blah, blah, blah. So some guys want to come in and try more, but other guys get intimidated. But another thing is just kind of being able to handle the competition. or joke with that
Yeah,
guy?
you just have to learn how to deal with it and not let it bother you. I mean, at first it bothered me. I was like, what did I do to this person? But then I saw after the 10th person did it to me, I realized that it's just it's not me. I'm not doing anything. It's just a natural reaction to a certain type of guy. You know, like look at Brad Pitt, how many haters he has. That guy is just a total sweetheart of a person. Very, very kind person. That guy has so many people who just hate his guts strictly because he's good looking. He didn't pick his genetics or how he looks, just how he looks. But he has tons of people who don't like him strictly. They're just like, fuck Brad Pitt, fuck, you know, strictly because he's just good looking. He didn't choose to look that way. He didn't, you know, yeah, he chose to be an actor and be rich and be famous. He chose that, but still, you know, it's just like some guys, you know, you can choose to be a high quality man, and some guys don't really have to work at it. They're just born with good genetics, and they're born with, they had good parents, and they just naturally grew up as a high quality man. They didn't have to go through any kind of struggles, and they just have to deal with the haters, you know. They get called douchebag and all that stuff, and they're not. They're just who they are.
It's true. There are a bunch of like really attractive or fit guys that I've seen or known who still don't do really well with women because they lack the communication skills and the leading.
They lack the mental part of it.
Exactly. So it's a mix of things, but the physical side definitely helps propel the mental side forward and gives you more of an opportunity in the beginning to create a relationship with her because she is interested initially, as opposed to being like, yeah, fuck that, I don't want him.
Yeah, there's some goofy looking guys that you're like, yeah, I'd beat his ass, but then you go talk to him for 3 minutes and you're like, I'm not messing with that guy because he just has it together so much that you're like, yeah, I'm intimidated by this person. I'm not even going to deal with him.
Absolutely.
So,
I recently hosted a wedding in Greece for my friend who got married to a French guy who kind of seems like that. But he's from a good family and went to good school, good education, has really good personality, good sense of humor, blah, blah, blah. And she's like a bombshell. And he doesn't really look like the kind of guy who'd be dating her at all. But after you talk to him for a few minutes, you realize, like, I can see why she likes him. He's smart, he's got a good personality, he's well articulated. So I can totally get that. Like, not even hate on the guy. Can't even hate on him because it's like I can understand. That's a legit good, smart, well articulated, good communication type guy. So I can see why she's into that.
Yeah. So a high quality man comes in so many different packages. There are guys who are fat and overweight that they have weight problems, and no matter how hard they work at it, they just struggle with it, but they dress nicely and their personality is just on point, and they're just squared away individuals, and women just flock to these guys. And you know, and women in a different light, women would be like, I would never sleep with that guy, but then they talk to him for 20 minutes and they're just so attracted to the guy that they can't get away from him. It has nothing to do with money or the way he dresses. It's just his mental and just the way he is as a person just attracts women. So high quality men come in so many different packages, you know.
I agree. And I just think if you put it all together, you get your physical and personal side handled, you get your life, your own side, your hustle working towards what you want handled, you get your communication skills handled. When you go talk to any woman, you're going to have a pretty awesome package to offer her. And if you communicate it in the right way, interact with her in the right way, then it's almost silly that she wouldn't be interested. And if she isn't,
you've drastically reduced your chances of getting rejected.
Absolutely. And I see when you approach it that way and give yourself a bunch of options, you're bound to find some women who are going to be amazing, who are going to like you and appreciate you, who you can choose a really nice relationship from if you want. And if not, you can just enjoy having your time with them and learning and growing, being with them, whatever you want. But the first step is getting your shit together to be able to create that awesome funnel so you can narrow it down to where you want it to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, cool. So that's kind of where I'm thinking when I'm at with it. So what do you think is different about dating quality women?
It's less of a hassle. It's a little bit more challenging sometimes based on situations that come up. I'm not going to say problems or challenges, But just situations that come up, you have to handle them. You have to take more time to think about your response to it. You have to handle them a little bit differently because a high quality woman is not going to put up with you acting stupid to her. So if a challenge, let's say a challenge comes up, the way you would handle that challenge with a low quality woman, you just don't handle it the same way with a high quality woman at all. So, but overall, dating high quality women is easier because there's less drama, there's less stress, there's less eye rolling from you. You know, if you're around a dumb girl, you're just constantly rolling your eyes like nonstop. You're just like, God dang. So, the dating high quality women, it's more enjoyable as well. And you're going to learn what's different is you're going to learn more. You're going to learn more from the experience. Even if it doesn't go the distance, even if you just date her for 3 weeks or a month, you're going to learn something that you would not have learned from dating average or low quality women.
100%. And it's just going to be an overall more enjoyable experience, more fulfilling.
It's more enjoyable, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be better. It's just better. Is quality ever not better than not quality, right? Like,
and probably less men have been inside of that than a average or low quality woman too.
Yeah, like I don't even worry about that, but I just like a woman who has standards. That says
Correct.
something she says and thinks about herself.
Yeah, and you're more with the high quality woman, you're more likely to have a stable relationship. It's more
Absolutely.
likely you're more likely to have a successful and stable relationship.
Absolutely. It's more likely to turn into something rather than just be a time waste.
She's less likely to run away over a stupid little something dumb. Average and low quality women, they break off the relationship and run away as soon as something tiny comes up. High quality women are like, no big deal. We'll figure it out.
Absolutely. And the fact that it could turn into something more is so much more encouraging. Like, who wants to put their time into a job where they know it's just a time suck, it's just a time trade? Whereas if they know that it could turn into something they might be really interested in later, they're willing to put the time and effort in now, even though it may not be what they really want. At least there's the opportunity. I find that much more motivating. What do you think?
I do too. It's just overall, it's just more rewarding. And it is more motivating to date a high quality woman, especially if she's kind of being a little hard to get. It makes it it's like game on, you know, like what do I gotta learn in this moment, or what do I gotta improve in order to get her attention? It pushes you to the next level. You know, like they say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Absolutely.
If you're racing against if you're coming in first in all your races, you're racing against the wrong people.
Absolutely.
So if you're just constantly winning with women nonstop, then you're not challenging yourself enough. You have to push yourself to date the type of quality women that you perceive as almost being out of your league, and get to know what they're all about, and then make improvements to yourself so you can be on the same level as them until not to keep doing that, but until you find the woman that you know for sure you want to be with and possibly spend the rest of your life with. Until you meet her, if you haven't met her yet, keep on improving the type of woman you're seeking. Don't go down, go up. So.
I agree. I'm a big proponent of not settling. I think you deserve what you settle for. So if you don't settle and you keep going forward, eventually you'll get what you want. If you do settle and just accept whatever's there, it's probably going to have bad long-term consequences, maybe in a bad relationship, maybe in a divorce, maybe in kids or something, which is, a whole nother situation with different problems you don't need to solve just because you weren't willing to solve the problems to get what you really wanted at that time. What do you think about settling?
Settling is not an option for any man. It should never be an option, ever. So, I think if a man honestly believes he can get a certain quality woman, he needs to keep on pursuing it. He needs to keep on reading the books, watching the videos, going to the gym, working out, improving his communication skills, eliminating his unnecessary junk crap behavior, eliminating it, doing whatever he can to reach that next level that he knows he can reach. I mean, I honestly believe if any guy believes he can get a certain type of girl, he can, if he's willing to put in the work for it. You know, and the big picture is not about getting women. It's about becoming a high quality man who these women are naturally attracted to. It's not about getting her. That's not the end picture. It's about attracting her. It's about becoming the type of guy that she says, I want to be his, not where she says, I guess I'll take him. Because you don't want a woman to settle for you either. Because if a high quality woman is settling for you, there's something wrong there. I'm a huge fan of Navy SEALs, and that's strictly because of their mindset, the way they live their lives, the way they do everything. It doesn't matter what it is. They do it, and they do it in a hardcore way. So they don't settle for anything. You know, one Navy SEAL tells another one, hey, you want to go for a little mediocre jog, you know, through the park? They're both going to be throwing up by the time they get done running because they're going to be trying to outdo each other, because that's how they are. They're not going to settle for a little jog. One Navy SEAL is not going to settle for his Navy SEAL buddy being in front of him. He's going to be in front, and then the other ones have to get in front. And before you know it, they're running as hard as they can, trying to beat each other up, and that's just the way they are. They're competitive by nature. That's why they are one of the military's most elite teams or groups of teams, and the U.S. military, and that's why they are considered the tip of the spear. So because they don't settle. The reason they became Navy SEALs is because they weren't going to settle for being on a ship. They weren't going to settle for doing any other job in the military that they didn't feel they wanted to do. I'm not trying to offend anybody military, that they didn't feel they wanted to do. They said, you know what, I want to shoot straight for the top because I think I can get that. And that's what they did. You know, every job in the military is important, but that's just what they wanted to do, and they weren't going to settle for anything else. They didn't want to be on a boat. That's what they all say, not going to be on a boat. I'm not going to quit buds because I'm not going to be on a boat. So they just don't settle. And that mindset, I've always had that mindset. I've always had that mindset, and I've never settled, ever. And, you know, I've dumped some pretty high quality women in my life strictly because I wasn't going to settle for a particular aspect of that situation. And I would rather be single than to be in a relationship I'm not 100% happy with. So settling is just not an option in any aspect of anybody's life. It should never be. Nobody should ever settle for anything. Even it goes to income, job, car. If you want a freaking Ferrari, figure out how to get it. People say, oh, I can't have a Ferrari. That's only for rich people. Well, figure out how to freaking become rich. Oh, you only make a certain amount of money? Figure out how to make more money. Once you get to that level, figure out how to make even more money. Keep figuring out how to make more money until you can afford a Ferrari. Once you get that Ferrari, then if that's what you're happy with, then that's what you get, you know. But don't settle for a Ford Mustang if you really want a Ferrari.
I agree.
You know.
It's like that Henry Ford quote where he says, whether you believe you can or you can't, either way, you're right. It's kind of like
Correct.
you said that with the women and the Navy SEAls. Believe you can do it because you find a way.
Correct.
If you don't believe you can, even if you have opportunities, you'll find ways to ruin it so that you can't.
It doesn't matter what anybody else believes about you. It matters what you believe. Everybody else says, oh, you'll never. When I was an aircraft mechanic, I told a guy that in 6 months, I'm never going to work on airplanes again. I'm going to be 100% self-employed. I'm never going to have a job the rest of my life. This dude laughed his ass off at me. Called him 6 months later. So what you doing? He said, I'm at work. What are you doing? I said, I'm working at home. Don't need to have a job again. You know, I did exactly because that's just, I wasn't going to settle for having a job. I'm just not the type of person. I don't enjoy working for other people. And if anybody listening, they're the same way, figure out a way to work for yourself. Don't settle. That mindset right there, the mindset that you see coming out of me as I'm talking about this, that's the mindset that attracts high quality women.
Hmm.
High quality women are not attracted to guys who are like, yeah, I guess I'll work at Church's Chicken. I need to have a job. No, they're attracted to the guy that's like, oh, I'm gonna own that Church's Chicken 5 years from now. I'm gonna own that. I'm gonna make enough money and I'm gonna buy them out and I'm gonna own it and whatever, and then have a bunch of people working for me so I don't ever have to work again.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there's a guy who gets shit done and doesn't settle until he gets what he wants.
Exactly.
That can happen with women too.
You see that?
Yeah, what does it say? Never quit?
It says get shit done. Broke is not an option.
Yeah, that's right. I like that.
It's the way it goes.
That in my room. I got some Buddhist stuff and whatnot, but definitely need.
I wasn't happy just having one company. I started another company because nobody else in the world is doing this, so I started that company.
What is it?
I build canvases, motivational canvases for anybody who needs motivation just to get more done.
Yeah. I think I found where to get my next room decoration.
Correct.
Do you have a site for that yet?
Stoic.com. STOIIC.
Okay, cool. I'm going to check that out right after.
Yeah.
Cool. I was wondering about that.
Yeah. You're not going to see anything. It's under maintenance at the moment. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. When do you think?
But anyways, it'll be running very soon.
Okay, cool. Look forward to seeing that.
Correct.
Right on. So just a couple more questions here. What do you see men struggling with most when it comes to dating quality women?
Trying to get away with immature behavior, immature thinking, or just underdeveloped thinking or behavior. They think that they can change the way they dress and change what they drive and attract a higher quality woman, but they don't realize that they have to change themselves completely if you want to change the type of woman you are dating. You have to change yourself completely. And it's not like change yourself, I'm unhappy. It's not that. It's change myself. I'm at this level. I want to reach the next level. So you can't just improve the way you dress and then completely change the type of women you're dating. Not going to happen. All you're going to do is you're going to attract the same type of woman who dresses better. That's it.
Oh, you attract what you are.
So yeah, if you improve your body and the way you dress, but not your mind, guess what? You're gonna attract a woman who has a hot body. She dresses nice, but her mind she's just very immature and dramatic. You have to change whatever it is you're seeking in a woman. You got to change that about yourself. If you're seeking a woman who has it together mentally, you got to get it together mentally. So what I see a lot of men struggling with when it comes to high quality women is, number one, they can't get them because they're not taking the right steps and they're not moving in the right direction to attract a high quality woman. And number two, they're not willing to do what it takes to. They want to keep on doing the same crap. They don't want to move out of their mom's house. They don't want to get a higher paying job. They don't want to get their finances handled. They don't want to read more books. They don't want to watch more videos. They don't want to spend less time drinking and more time studying. They don't want to spend less time on video games and more time reading books or watching videos. They want to keep on spending the same amount of time they're doing on that stuff or being on Facebook, and spend less time reading, but they want more results. It doesn't work that way. If you want more results, you have to spend more time pursuing those results. There's no substitute. You have to absolutely spend the time. So when I wanted to become a higher quality person and attract higher quality women, my roommates were going out and drinking and partying, and I was staying at home on my computer, watching seminars, reading books, doing everything I could. And then I would go out and practice everything I was learning. But I spent more time than anybody I ever knew studying how to become a higher quality person overall. I just spent tons of time doing that. And it felt nerdy. I felt stupid doing it, but I knew it was going to pay off in the future somehow, some way. And it's going to pay off every day for the rest of my life. Simple as that. Absolutely. So you know, that's where guys have to start if they want to attract higher quality women. It's not buy a suit and wear more jewelry or get an expensive car or flash money. That's not it. It's start working on your mind. First and foremost, if you work on your mind, everything else will follow. If you work on your mind, you will naturally start dressing better. You will naturally get in better shape. You will naturally, and I don't mean naturally by sleeping and your body's just going to get better, meaning you will naturally be more inclined to take care of yourself. Just, it's going to happen naturally. You will naturally be more inclined to want to make more money. When you make more money, you will naturally be inclined to want to drive a better vehicle, to want to live in a better house, to want to dress better. But it starts with your mind. You can't do it any other way. It starts with your mind. Everything else follows.
I agree. It's like the content of the person. I think what you talked about was, them changing their clothes and expecting different results. But that's kind of like having a gift with nothing in it and wrapping it in nice paper. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a nice looking gift, but it's a shitty gift. There's nothing in it. It doesn't matter how nice you wrap it. So what goes inside the character that the women are looking for and that makes these men high quality and successful is, one, really important. That's what goes in the gift. Then if you wrap it really nice, then it's like extra nice when you get it and like, boom, wow, what an awesome gift. Plus it looks beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. And I talk about in my book, How to Quit Being a Loser with Women, that most guys, they want to look like a Ferrari, but they have a lawnmower engine. So a woman, they're like, you want to take a ride in my Ferrari? She's like, sure. And then it goes like 10 miles an hour. And they're like, what is this crap? And then there's other guys who they're like, well, I want a Ferrari, so I'm going to work on the engine first. So they may be driving a Volkswagen Beetle, but it goes 200 miles an hour. And women are like, what on earth? And then you're like, yeah, I'm slowly working on the body. The body's going to be a Ferrari soon. So then you have a Ferrari engine and a Ferrari body, rather than what most guys do. They want to paint their car like a Ferrari, but the engine just remains untouched.
I agree.
You want a supercar? A supercar is defined by its engine, not by the body, not by its body lines, not by what it says on it. A supercar, a hypercar, a megacar, sports cars, they're all defined by their engines.
That's a really good point. So you got to start from inside making changes.
You got to start from the engine, your mind. Yes.
I agree 100%.
That's just the way I see it.
And another thing you said was a lot of guys, they don't want to do anything different, but they want to get different results. And it's like
Correct.
that really overused Einstein quote. Don't know if you've even.
Exactly.
Einstein.
Definition of insanity is doing the same things and expecting different results.
Yeah, exactly. So if guys want different results, they got to do different things. If they're not willing to do the different things, they don't deserve it. So, forget about it. Forget about it. If you want different results, but you don't want to do anything different, forget about it. Turn off YouTube. Turn off this video. Don't go to either of our sites. Just forget about it because nothing will change.
But yeah, if you're unwilling to change, you're just a scared little bitch. You're just weak. Weak men are the ones who they stay in their comfort zone. They're like, no, I'm comfortable here. That's weak. That's weak. And women see that and they're just like, there's no way in a million years I'm going to date a guy who is that weak and afraid to get out of his comfort zone and afraid to make some changes in his life. A high quality man is constantly living on the edge of his comfort zone. If he starts feeling comfortable, he's like, okay, there's something I'm doing wrong because I'm not supposed to be feeling discomfortable.
100%, Mark. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing is to lean into your comfort zone. So without doing that, there can be no progression. And that's why they're so high quality. It's why they're always moving forward and getting better because they're always leaning into that comfort zone, stretching it, making it a little bit bigger, a little bit looser. And it's got a little area inside.
If you're not feeling a little bit scared or worried each day, you're not doing enough. If you're feeling super cocky and confident about yourself every day, there's no way you're pushing yourself hard enough whatsoever.
Absolutely. There's a quote, something like, fear shows me what I am to do next. So if you're afraid of something, that's the thing that is for you to do. So go do it. Then you won't be afraid anymore and you'll have expanded that much more.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, this sounds completely stupid, but I'm terrified every day, like of the projects I'm doing, what I'm working on in my life. I'm terrified that I'm either not going to do a good enough job or I'm going to fail. but I push forward anyways. And as long as I'm terrified, then I know I'm doing the right thing. Because if I'm not terrified anymore and I'm just real comfortable doing it, then it's like, okay, I'm bored. I want something that terrifies me, that I have to learn about, that I have to push myself to do it. And if I'm terrified, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, you know. It's just, you get used to being in that mode. If you're not terrified of what you're doing, you're not doing the right thing.
I agree. I have a friend who's really fit, significantly fitter than me. And he's really good at going to the gym because he knows if he goes to the gym and he eats right, he's going to get the results. He knows it's 100% just biological, it happens. So he can crush this. But when it comes to doing anything else that isn't guaranteed results, he almost just flatlines, just like can't do it, can't progress, because there's no certainty in it. So is there certainty in personal growth and getting what we want? Not certainty. Is there likelihood it will at least get better? Yes. Is it almost certain that even if we don't reach what we really want, we'll at least have improved situations? Most likely. But is it 100%? No. So like you said, being comfortable, being afraid, being okay with the uncertainty that something might not work out and working towards it. Like, are you going to be able to create a relationship with that woman? You don't know. Are you going to get embarrassed? I don't know. Are you going to be able to follow it up and have a good time with her and keep her interest in the long term? I don't know. Might you get hurt in the process or be embarrassed or get heartbroken or something? I don't know. You never know. But it's in that uncertainty where real greatness comes, because nothing that was ever great that was accomplished was certain, right? The first skyscraper that was built wasn't certain it could be done. First man that went to the moon wasn't certain they'd make it. The rocket wouldn't explode. They make a stupid Adam and Eve thing, Were they certain what would happen if they ate the apple? They didn't know. They fucking did it. It's a stupid example, but it's like in that certainty, in that uncertainty comes the greatest progress. So that's where man got wisdom, right? The story. I'm not saying,
yeah.
I'm saying, hypothetically, ideologically speaking. So in gaining that wisdom, there was no certainty, but in that uncertainty is where all greatness has come from. Aside from really fit people. So I just thought that was an interesting point. You're talking about your fear, your uncertainty, not being certain if that'll work out. That's where everything great is made. And
and I used to date women that terrified me. I mean, my girlfriend now, when I met her, I was terrified of her because I didn't know what she was thinking. She was intimidating, had no idea what she was thinking, how would she respond to anything, and something about that was very addicting. I was like, I'm terrified of this girl. I want to spend time with her.
Find out, figure that out, grow into it, create a great relationship together.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're not going to become a high quality man if you see that there's a possibility of failure and you allow that to stop you. It's not going to do anything for you. Everything I do, I know there's a possibility of failure, and that's why I do it. Because if I fail, I'm still going to learn something from it, and I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to get it right.
Exactly. They say you win or you learn, and I think that's a really good experience.
Yeah, you win or you learn. Exactly.
Cool, Mark. So you write a lot of articles on different aspects of being a man in dating. You have some on how to stay calm, how to not be jealous, how to be more mature. What do you think are the most important qualities for a man to have outside of communicating with women, saying and doing the right things, but most important, like personal internal qualities you think a man needs to have to be able to date, attract, and keep?
Number one, staying calm, which relates to controlling your emotions. Controlling your emotions relates to every single aspect of life. The most successful people in the entire world are also the best at controlling their emotions. It doesn't matter what it is. They're the best at controlling the Navy SEALs. One of the first things they learn, control your emotions. It's one of the first things. They're constantly, it's just rammed into their brain. Calm down, get yourself together, don't freak out. It's controlling your emotions, because Navy SEAL ideology is we need a guy on our team who's in complete control of his emotions, because we're not going to have a guy on our team who freaks out and all of a sudden he can't do his job on a mission and he gets a bunch of guys in the team hurt or killed. It's not going to happen. They have to be 100% certain this guy is in control of his emotions, right? So I have seen with 100% certainty a pattern among men who fail with women, or men who don't date quality women, high quality women, is they are unable to control their emotion. And I've seen a 100% pattern with certainty of men who consistently date high quality women. They consistently stay calm and control their emotions. That's just the recipe. I've never seen a guy who dates high quality women who's always spazzing out, freaking out, just can't control his emotions. Something happens, he just flips the hell out. I've never seen that happen, ever. All the men I've ever seen date high quality women, they are in control of their emotions. They are as calm as a fucking cucumber that's been in the freezer, or as cool as a cucumber. So they cucumbers are calm, but
They're known for
no
it.
no matter what's happening, even if he walks in and catches his girlfriend cheating on him, he doesn't freak out and go crazy. He stays calm. I walked in on an ex-girlfriend in bed with some dude. I came home from work early one time, and I was already in the mode of being a calm, emotionally sound person. And, could have freaked out, but instead I was just like, I'll see you later. And she was crying and going hysterical, and I was just like, nah, it's cool. I'll be moving out. I'll be moving out in the next day or two. I'll stay in a hotel or something. And that's all I said about it. There was nothing else to be said. She blew my phone up, texted me, everything. I didn't say anything else about it. I just like, see you later. So I didn't care. So it doesn't matter what the situation is. There is no reason for a man to lose his ability to stay calm and be in control of his emotions. Okay. Those are the first. Staying calm and control of emotions, those go together. That part of the recipe absolutely has to be there. You have to master your emotions. Do these guys get it right 100% of the time? No, but 99% of the time, they're in control of themselves. Always calm and cool about everything. As a matter of fact, my girlfriend said that one of the reasons she liked me so much was because I was so chill about absolutely everything. She never saw me overreact to anything, ever. She said that was something that attracted her the most, was I was just super calm. Because other guys she's dated weren't so calm. So the second thing is, if you want to date a high quality woman, you have to get over your jealousy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to quit being a jealous person. If you see her talking to the cashier for 3 or 4 minutes, don't go flipping out about it. Don't go flipping out about it, getting jealous. Now, if you see that there is clearly something going on there, then that's just a red flag for you that maybe you're dating the wrong person. And it's an opportunity for you to control your emotions, stay calm, and to just really assess the situation and see, maybe you made some bad judgments about this person, and maybe it's time to move on to the next high quality woman who actually is high quality, because a high quality woman's just not going to do that. So anyways, and then the last one is, you just have to be mature, right? You can be an immature guy. You can be a little bit immature, like childish, but have complete control of your emotions and not be too jealous, and you are going to attract some amazing women. The maturity part, you can work on that, but you can, and here's the opposite side of the coin as to why I say maturity last, is because you can be the most mature guy. You could be the most mature guy in the whole world, right? But if you're not in control of your emotions and you have some jealousy issues, then, it's not going to work for you. It's not going to work. You have to be able to stay calm, keep your game face on at all times, no matter what's happening. And, just get over the jealousy thing. A lot of guys struggle with jealousy. It's just a no-no. Can't do it,
I agree.
My girlfriend, she leaves and goes and hangs out with her friends. She does things. I don't ask her where she was. who was there, who talked to her. I mean, she went out to a bar. She goes out to bars with her best friend and they go out and drink. I don't ask her, were guys talking to you? Were guys hitting on you? I don't sit out and watch. I don't tell her I'm going to come pick you up. I want to make sure I don't do any of that. I'm just like, have a good time. I love you. See you when you get home. You know, and the whole thing about not being jealous is you have to have the mindset of, I'm dating a high quality woman, or somebody I perceive as high quality. So whatever they do, that's on them. Whatever they do is on them. It's not I'm not gonna, because jealous guys, they associate with what she's doing. They associate it with themselves. Like somehow it's related to them. And it doesn't work that way. If you are dating a grown woman, she should be old enough to know what she should and should not be doing. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. She should know what the line between questionable and wrong is. She shouldn't even cross the questionable line. She should know where that line is. And if she's not mature enough or high quality enough to understand that, then you just move on to the next girl. There's no reason to get jealous. There's no reason to lose control of your emotions or not be calm or to get immature about it. You just say, okay, well, clearly I'm dating a girl who is not mature enough to know what the boundaries of decency are. And I mean common boundaries of decency, not no far-fetched boundaries. So if you see things that way, then you'll never get jealous, because you'll just be like, you know, jealousy stems from the ego, right? The most egotistical people are the ones who are the most jealous, right? Jealousy stems from the ego, because it's like, you are mine. You are not going to do this to me. You are not going to cheat on me. You make it all about yourself when you're jealous, right? If you're a person that you're not all about yourself, you really don't make a big deal, then it's like, okay, she cheated on me. Yeah, she went and banged a bartender at the bar. Okay, I was at home being good, minding my business. I didn't do anything wrong. So I'm not going to make this about myself, because I didn't cause this. And if it had to do with something that maybe she just was losing attraction for you over the past couple of weeks, big freaking deal. It's still on her, because she didn't know how to handle her losing attraction for you in a mature way. So she decided to cheat on you. So that's still on her. And if by chance you happen to get relaxed or you started losing the attraction with her and she did cheat on you, then that's just something you can learn from. Simple as that. You're just like, okay, she cheated on me. I'm not going to act like an idiot. I'm going to remain calm, be cool about it. I'm just going to move forward, and in the future, I'm going to remember what caused her to start losing attraction for me, and I'm just going to double down on my effort on that particular part of who I am, make sure it doesn't happen again. Now, a lot of guys are going to be like, that's complete bullshit. No guy is able to control himself that much. And yes, you know, I dated a world famous supermodel and actress. I'm not going to say any names.
Well, I want to.
And no, I'm not going to say any names, but you know, there was no jealousy there. I found out she was cheating on me with a Olympic soccer player, right? Some guy, a real big Olympic soccer player. I'm not going to say any names, but I found out she was cheating on me with him. And I was like, okay, cool. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Okay, cool. So when I quit talking to her, she was, you know, of course, blowing my phone up and stuff. And I'm just like, do whatever you want, man. You know, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. And I just moved on with my life, you know. It wasn't like, oh my God, I'm losing this. It wasn't about me. It was just that it doesn't matter what status a woman is. It doesn't guarantee that she's going to be an extremely high quality person. But you keep on trying until you do meet the right person who does know boundaries of decency, what they should and shouldn't do, so on and so forth. And you just can't freak out about stuff like that. And yeah, I got off on a tangent. Oh, so the question was, you know, what are the most important aspects of, attracting a high quality woman. It's that controlling your emotions, being, not being jealous. I mean, if anybody's a jealous guy, they have to work on that immediately. It is not going to get them anywhere. Okay, if you've been dating a woman for a year or two, and, of course, you're going to get a little bit jealous about something, that's okay. But, I mean, being overly jealous, acting like a psycho, acting like an idiot, just not acceptable. And you have to work on your maturity. If you have to watch videos for 3 hours a day, every day, read books, if you have to pinpoint little bitty aspects of your personality and work on each one at a time, it's definitely worth it, because it's going to help you become a more mature person. And the shortcut to becoming more mature, find some mature people and get around them, start listening to them. Me personally, I'm still working on my maturity. I mean, I act very immature sometimes. I'm sure people have read my books. I say some very, very immature stuff in there. And, I've been listening to Jocko podcast. It's a dude named Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL, has a podcast. And this guy is all about maturity, making mature decisions, communicating in mature ways. And so, I mean, there's always room for improvement for everyone, no matter how far ahead in life you think you are, no matter how high quality you think you are, there's room for improvement. So, I mean, I think I'm a high quality man. I don't claim to be higher quality than anybody, but I mean, there's room for improvement for everyone, including myself. I mean, every day I focus on improvement every day. So, I mean, that's part of the main aspect of why I have a high quality girlfriend, is because I'm just constantly improving myself. That's all I care about. I just want to become better.
Absolutely. And that's a very mature pursuit. I just want to point out that being mature doesn't mean that you can't have fun or make immature sort of jokes. Kind of like how the Simpsons is like intelligent, but acts really stupid. It's like a really intelligent stupidity on purpose. That can also be really fun and is a sign of maturity.
Yeah.
Understand.
I see maturity. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I see maturity is most important when it comes to decision making. That's when it's most important. When we're at a bar drinking and we say some stupid stuff, or making jokes, making wiener jokes, or making stupid stuff, that's not really immature. That's funny, But I mean, when it comes to decision making on how we spend our money, on how we spend our time, on how we treat other people, the people we're choosing to spend our time with, that's when maturity becomes extremely, extremely important.
I agree 100%, Mark. And that, like anything, the fastest track to that is surrounding yourself with mature people who are like how you already want to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up?
No, thank you for having me on. And I believe we've covered a lot of very valuable information about being a high quality man and high quality women, more than I thought we would. And I believe, listening to this might be for some like drinking out of a fire hydrant, just going to be a lot of information. And, nobody has to agree with everything I say. Everything I say, it's just with the best of intentions to just genuinely help whoever's listening, to genuinely help them get to the next level by sharing my personal experiences and my personal perspective that I've gained from my experiences. And my point of view isn't exactly right and it isn't exactly wrong. It's what helps me to move in the right direction. And, I'm not the type of person to say anything is right or wrong. It's just, that's what helps me. And all I can do is just say, this is what helps me and this might help you too. So if you want to try it, go ahead. So anyone listening, be willing. Don't be closed to trying anything. Be willing to try anything. And if it doesn't work for you, just try something else. But keep on trying until you start getting the results you're looking for. Simple as that.
Absolutely. Keep investing in yourself. Keep taking action. Keep learning and growing. Don't settle until you get what you want.
Don't be afraid to fail over and over and look like an idiot every single time. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to fail. You know, I mean, I took a different girl to my mom's house for Christmas probably 5 or 6 years in a row. And now it's a joke in the family that every year Mark brings a different girl for Christmas. And, you know, it's just because I attempted to meet a high quality person and it just didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, you know, or that person just didn't prove to be the high quality person I thought they were. Don't, you know, just don't be afraid to embarrass yourself in order to get what you ultimately want, you know?
I agree. 100%, Mark. That's so important.
Yeah. So that's what makes a high quality person. Just don't be afraid to fail.
I agree. 100%. And learn from those failures. Don't be the guy who keeps making the same mistake again and again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's the worst. Cool, Mark. I appreciate it so much. This was an awesome interview. You went really in depth, and I agree. We went deeper than I thought as well. There's a ton of really useful, high-level, you know, and even just mindset value there that I really appreciate you sharing. You're a great guest, an awesome dude. Mark's ebooks are great. So if you haven't checked out his site, check out majorleaguedating.com. We got a new site going up soon. It's going to be dope. All of his ebooks are good. I got one. His free ebook, How Attraction Really Works,
correct,
is really good as well. I recommend you check that out. Great free ebook. And really appreciate you coming again and look forward to chatting with you later.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Thanks, Mark. You're awesome. We'll talk in a bit.
All right. See you later.